why do you think your money matters to men?
I think it has a role to play because they want to make sure that they're not just going to be like left with all the baggage or having to like worry about, like everything.
Okay.
And yeah, and I don't really, what's your next
Okay.
question?
Well, do you have any kids?
I do. I have two children. I have two girls.
How many years apart are they?
A year and 3 months.
All by this different fathers or the same father?
Same father.
How long were you and the dad together?
It's pretty interesting because I kind of started messing around with him when I was really young at 14. And then I had my first daughter at 17 and then my second daughter at 19. And we were,
Okay.
so we weren't really in an official relationship, just to be like really honest. We were more so like messing around. And then like,
Wait. How can you not be in an official relationship and got whole babies?
so this is how it started off. It started off like just like us just, like messing around. And then like I had very low self-esteem at that time and things like that. And so I kind of like let him control me. And yeah, then I ended up with two girls and I was like trying to do like, I really tried to do the whole family thing with him and like work with him. But I just realized that, it was better off just me, being on my own with my two girls.
Okay.
Because like it didn't serve me or my daughters to be in a relationship.
Did you go to college?
Yes, I was in, I did a couple years of college.
So, how tall are you?
I'm about like 5'5", 5'6".
Dress size?
Excuse me?
Dress size.
My dress size. Oh, I'm about a medium.
What number would that be?
Dress size? What do you mean?
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like about like a size 8.
Okay. First of all, you're definitely a single woman because you got the single woman tell. That damn smoke detector.
Mm-hmm.
How do you live with that?
The way that I've been living with just being a single woman is
No. Specifically, the smoke detector that keeps chirping. How do you live with that?
Can you just elaborate more on like what do you mean by the smoke detector?
It keeps going beep.
Like red flags?
That smoke detector that's beeping in the background. There's a smoke detector. It beeps every 30 seconds and it goes beep.
I don't hear anything beeping. Did you just hear it again? Because I don't hear anything.
Wait for it. Told you guys they don't hear it after a while. There it was.
The beep? Oh,
yes.
There it is. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I have to replace my fire smoke detector.
Oh my God!
Batteries. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Okay, so I just noticed it, and maybe I've become amused.
You didn't notice it.
I didn't.
It's one of the first things men notice about you ladies because a man would not sit there with that thing beeping like that. Every 15 seconds it beeps.
Okay, noted.
And and my point is, guys, the things that we notice, they don't notice. They get comfortable. Beep, it just beeped again. And she didn't even notice it. She didn't even know what I'm talking about. She's like, what are you talking about?
Right. I thought you were like trying to, like say something,
No, I'm saying it's a single woman tell. It's the single woman tell that a woman is single or got a husband if she got that thing going on. So my ultimate point is,
oh, wow.
Okay, yeah. So see, and those kind of things keep women single. So
and I got to be more alert.
Well, and I'm just being honest. A woman with two kids, and you say that you and your child's father really weren't that serious, but you got two whole human beings.
Yeah. Well, I was more serious with him But then again, I like kind of like just like allowed him to disrespect me and
I
not.
can't go that path, man. You sitting there with a smoke detector beeping off, so I don't know what the hell you did either. Y'all ladies
Listen, I don't
always,
want to listen, not even to play
yeah.
the victim or nothing.
I'm just saying. My thing is, in all seriousness, no, because ladies tend to, because I don't know his side, and
Right,
then
right.
and there's three sides to everything. But what we do know, you're 27 with two kids, and your youngest is how old?
My youngest is 8 years old.
All right, that damn smoke detector. And the thing is, realistically, most men who are marriage minded would put you in a rental category.
Mm.
You know why?
I would like to know why, actually.
Because of those two kids.
Gotcha.
Those two kids. Do you want to have any more children?
It's something that is like kind of just like on the back end. Like if I was to get married and
In other words,
significant,
the short answer.
no.
I'm gonna come up with a word because one of my friends calls it bee babble. I don't want to call it that, but it's woman babble. The answer is no. I don't want to have another kid. I already got two kids, and that's enough.
That's right.
So a man meeting you doesn't even get a kid. All he does is he becomes a stepfather. Is there?
Well, I'm willing to
Hold on,
like.
hold on. Before you say that,
Sure.
I need you take yours not with you and your children. Okay, this is a question in general. Okay,
Okay.
is there any honor in being a stepfather these days?
To be honest, it all depends on the individual's core values.
I get so sick of you ladies doing this stuff. Everything is always, it depends, and it's individual. It's not always individual. I asked you a general question. A general question. And when you guys, ladies don't want to say no,
Okay, yes, if they're a good individual, like a good role model person, right? Or, but then again,
for the men out here working around, what do men see that happens to men who marry women with children? Do men see men who are currently stepfathers being honored, being praised, being spoken of highly, being given adoration, massive respect by the women, the community, the
Yes.
society,
my brother is a perfect
the
example.
world? Where do you see this? Because the men don't see this.
My brother, he recently, well, he's been married for like about like 5-6 years now. The woman, she had 4 children, and then she gave him a daughter, and he's been, taking care of the household, taking care of all the kids as his. And, yeah, I totally respect that.
No. I said the world.
The world,
The country.
The world, probably not. No.
Okay,
Most
so
people would be like, no, that's not your kid. So,
so as a woman with two children, don't you think it would be important to know what a man would be signing up for? When I was coming up, men who married women with children got additional benefits in the world. They got praised. Today, men don't get praised. Today, let's have a point. Do you have two daughters?
I do, yeah.
If you married a man, could he discipline your children like they're his own?
Yes.
And if that involved corporal punishment, meaning a whooping, he could do that too?
I would be,
Here comes the beatboxing.
no, I would not allow the beatboxer, no.
No. He can, or he could, or he could not corporally punish your daughter.
Corporately, you said?
Corporal. If she needed a whooping, could he give her a whooping?
At this moment in time, no, I wouldn't feel
Thank you. See, that's what I mean. You ladies want men to come in and step in and be fathers, and they don't even get to do father stuff. There is no honor in being a stepfather today, man.
I get where you're coming from with that too, because I see like, a conflict of interest there, because it's like if you're choosing to marry a man, right, and then you have children, he should have the say so to discipline those kids because he has to live with the children.
That's what should be, but that's not what happens. You just said it. That's just what you just said. A man couldn't do that. So when I asked you, rent or own, you said, I got to get myself together money and this other stuff. Men care about money after the other stuff is in place. you want a man that you would deal with at best would be a stepfather, and his hands would be tied behind his back because he couldn't even raise the children to do what he needs to, and he wouldn't get a child. So what's the advantage of marrying? What's the advantage of owning a woman in your position? I can't get a kid, and I at best I can be the kid's friend. I can't parent them, but I got to pay for them like they're my own.
So I can't speak for everybody. I can only speak for myself, you know. So what I could have to offer like a man is that I have stuff, you know.
Execute Order 66.
I'm not looking at, you know, the other man's like bank account as if it's my own. I don't, you know, if it's not in my bank account, then, you know, that doesn't have anything to do with me. And I feel like I'm a very equal person. I compromise, I'm considerate, you know, and I'm able to, you know, look at the bigger picture. And sometimes, and because I'm not perfect, so I'm able to see when I'm being wrong, and
Does what you bring to the table, do you think it balances out the amount of investment and risk a man must bring to the table?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes.
A man must deal with you, and he does not get a lineage. His line is forever ended. He can't have any. He won't get any children from you. That's Stop.
Well, I said speaking for me.
No.
Child.
You don't. Okay. We've already heard. We've heard.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't go back.
Okay. So let's move forward.
No. You see. This is what's becoming a single mother. When you ladies become single mothers, you do it the wrong way, and it's so hard, it's so stressful that there's no real joy in being a parent. What men coming in is to relieve stress, and that ain't our role. We want a family. So a man would come in and have to do stuff. He'd have to be a stepfather and a husband, and like I said, he couldn't even really have full authority over children like they were his biological children. Because if you had a biological child with a man, you couldn't stop him from disciplining his own child.
That's right.
So you say the things you would bring to the table would balance all this significant risk. I don't know how you say that when a man could go out and find a woman that has no children and is willing to have children.
Absolutely.
And they bring the same things that you say to the table.
Right.
What would be a better investment for a man?
So I really can't speak for a man because I'm a woman, and like,
and that's the problem.
As a single mother.
Stop right
as
here.
A single mother.
No. And that's the problem. Because you ladies always think about it from your standpoint. I can't speak for a man. Well, you and other ladies need to take this lesson. Until you can start thinking from a man's standpoint and speaking from a man's standpoint, you can't have a man.
I agree.
It's always from y'all's standpoint.
No,
so unfortunately, do you recognize you may have put yourself in a position to where you just don't get a man, a husband?
I do recognize that. Absolutely. Because
okay.
Yeah.
So if you don't get a husband, what does life look like at 60 years old?
What does life look like that at 60 years old? I don't really know what my sex drive will be at that time. But, you know, it looked like a lot of traveling, enjoying life, being creative, you know, being social settings, being around like-minded people, you know.
What do you do for a living?
Yeah.
What do you do for a living?
Right. So I recently became an independent financial professional, and
what does that mean?
What does that mean? That means that I'm able to help families by providing them with.
Okay, man. Let's. Okay, I'm a very smart man, and I know what I'm hearing bullshit. Is it Primerica or something like that?
No.
Okay. Do you have your life health 6 or 63?
Yes, I have my life.
Your life. Who do you sell life insurance for?
I sell life insurance for myself.
Right. So you're non-captive.
Yep, I'm a non-captive agent.
Right. And the upper earning potential on that is what?
It can be very well if you're willing to put it.
Yeah, ma'am. I know what you're talking about. So let's not play.
I'm not playing.
What state do you live in?
I live in Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, right. And how long have you been in this independent financial professional?
I'm sorry.
How long have you been this independent financial professional?
I just started a few months ago, actually.
Right. And what did you do before that for a living?
I worked in property management for public housing.
Okay. So you worked for public housing? So for the state?
I still do.
So for the state? So for the state?
I work for, state, federal.
Were you on salary?
No.
Hourly?
Yes.
About what's the most you've ever made an hour?
The most I've ever made?
Hourly.
25.
25. So I have a little model that I use. That if a woman in roughly your position makes $50,000 a year, $25 an hour, single with no children, and she makes that money from age 25 to age 65, and every year she gets a 3% raise for inflation for 40 years, and for every month she invests $200 into her savings. That woman at age 65, and if she had a life expectancy to 85, she would have a $750,000 shortfall in her retirement. That's a woman with no children. You've got 2. So, presuming no husband and earnings roughly what you're making now, are you going to have your $2.4 million needed to live from 65 to 85? 2.5 million cash at 65 years old.
That's the goal.
How are you going to do that? How much money do you think you'll need to make annually? And how much money
to have 2 million, what was the amount?
2.4 million, because you're 27.
2.4 million.
Because you're 27 right now, right?
I'm 27 right now. So
you got 38 years. You got 38 years old. You got 38 years, and right. You got 2 kids.
Yep. So 2.8 million a year, you said, or just in general for retirement?
You're going to need, if you cannot work after 65, you're going to need that money.
The life expectancy,
life expectancy is 85.
All right. So 85 minus 65, whatever that number is.
20 years. 20 you got to live for 20 years. And you need that money at 65.
And then so 20, right? And then, so you said 2.4 million. So I would have to divide that by 20 to find out how much that is annually. So then get one amount.
That's about $200,000 a year.
Oh, $200,000 a year?
Ma'am, you don't make enough money to you don't say
at this moment in time.
But no, man. And that's the thing. That's the thing. There's not at this moment in time. You didn't go to college, so you don't have that kind of.
In college should be.
See, and this is what I mean, people. This is when they start to go off the rails because the math starts to defeat you.
Okay.
Look.
All right, I'll let you finish.
I've already finished. You're not going to have it. A single woman, most women cannot survive, especially a woman with 2 kids. This is why women in your position go for these entrepreneurial things. And I don't know how long you watch my show. It's usually some sort of insurance, healthcare, real estate, or business owner, things that are undefined.
Right.
Versus if you're going to an accountant, what the bottom line is, man, the average black woman in this country, 74% of you earn less than $50,000 a year. You don't earn that kind of money. And ma'am, let's be real. You're not going to be earning $200,000. Well, you don't go from making $50,000 a year to 200 plus, and at 200,000, that means no kids. You still got kids.
That's okay, but anything worth having.
See, they don't get, no, ma'am, you're just talking. You're just talking. Ma'am, you're just talking. At 65 years old.
To you, it may be seen that way.
But no, I'm asking, do you have over $25,000 cash?
No, I do not. I have somewhat close to that.
But that's the point, ma'am. This is just basic retirement and financial planning.
Mm-hmm.
You don't save your way. You earn and invest your way, and you can't do it as a
Right,
single
you gotta
woman,
earn
be
more
quiet.
money.
You can't earn more money because you don't have the skills. What kind of professions pay women $200,000 or more?
If the professions in the financial industry.
That's bullshit.
No, it's not.
What profession in the financial industry?
As an independent financial professional.
That's not true. The average woman doesn't make $200,000 in financial
Oh yeah,
services.
no, not the average woman.
Well,
Absolutely.
ma'am, so you have to look at the average.
Okay, so we're talking average.
I'm
We're talking
talking
the
about
masses.
you. I'm talking about you, lady who was a property
Yes,
management.
and I'm
I'm
not
talking about you. Yes, you are, ma'am. You're 27 with 2 kids and you were a property manager at a project.
Listen, that can seem basic, but that's just like my part of my.
See, I want you to understand that this is when they get, that's why I don't like my show. You're 2 kids, unmarried, a couple of years of college, and you were a property manager at a project. And it's not like you could just say, I'm going to go back to law school. This is why I say they pick professions that sound grandiose. Real estate.
I could go back to nursing.
Oh, but you don't make $200,000 as a nurse.
You don't. It's true. But
And
no,
you and ma'am, do you not understand that? Why do you not understand that I know what I'm talking about? So when you started talking this financial planning stuff, I went directly to the holes because I know that's why they come at Black women and the Black community with Primerica and this multi-level marketing stuff. Because, ma'am, do you realize how many women and men in this country every day sign up to get their life, their health, they're 60, they're 63? But you got Allstate, State Farm, Farmers, and they got agencies left and right and blah, blah, blah. You got one person that's the top earner, and the average person makes $30,000 a year. $30,000. You got a warm network to sell to. You have not spent the last 10 years developing a book of business to go sell financial products. Most people aren't going to sit down and listen to you, to talk to you and invest their money because they're going to look at you and say, how are you living? They're not going to just trust you to do that. People with money.
that can come, like I can.
No, it can't.
It can. Absolutely. It can.
Okay. And this is what I mean. This is the
the
manifestation madness. This is what I mean. What's the probability of you earning $200,000 a year? What's the probability?
So the probability in my current position that I am now, based compared to other women in my same
I'm asking
area,
I'm asking the probability of you earning this, and what's the probability of you earning it? Out of 100%, what's the probability?
The probability, I'd say like 70 to 80%.
Holy shit!
Yes,
And 9% of Black women earn more than $75,000 a year, and you're a high school graduate, and you think just because you found financial services, you have a 70 to 80% chance of earning in the top 0.1% of female earners. This is why our community is dying, because these women have been told they can go manifest and they don't need a man. But let me ask you, I don't want to get down. I want you to listen to what I'm about to say.
Okay.
Let's just do it the way that I'm talking about.
Okay.
At 65 years old, and you can't work anymore. No one's going to hire you. You can't go earn another dime. And if you live to be 85 years old and you don't make the number like most people, who's going to take care of you?
I would hope my kids would help me out, but
that's fucked up.
It's so fucked up. But you know what? In this moment in time, I'm single.
That's fucked up, and this is why I do what I do. Because, ma'am, your children deserve to live their own lives.
And they will.
No, ma'am, they can't. Because if you have 2 daughters and they're married, don't you think they're... Excuse me. Don't you think those men that marry your daughters and go off and start their own families, they don't want to be burdened with your elder care? Because you did not plan it? See, this is what I mean. Women have children as a security measure. in places they don't talk about, these children are the retirement plan because
Yeah.
they don't make it because, ma'am, you did not decide to go to college or to get some sort of skill to get a profession to put yourself in the kind of lifestyle you're talking about. You did not make that choice.
Not
And
yet.
now at almost 30 years old, you think you can just go too far. See, if people honestly will, if people this is why I did this broadcast about Needy Nelly. USC, University of Southern California, USC targeted women with a $115,000 online social work course. Targeted them. $115,000 in debt for a job that paid $48,000.
That's
Ma'am, what you do right now, the average is $30,000 a year, not $200,000. Ma'am, listen. In order for what you're saying to work, you have to be the one person that wins. You are not sitting around 10, 15, 20 women in Rhode Island who are averaging $200,000. They're not. Your team, your group. How much does your VP make?
My VP, he's at like 750,000 now.
Have
Well,
you
he's my executive. He's my executive. So
exactly.
one.
And how much does your manager make?
My manager makes about like 65,000.
Thank you. See, I know too much about this.
No, absolutely. No, listen.
So, ma'am, so bottom line is what you're doing, what you're talking about.
Familiar with
So what you're talking about, you have to become a top 0.1% female earner. That means you have to go out into the world and compete with people who are selling for Merrill Lynch, Goldman Sachs, Fidelity, and then all the major houses.
Real quick?
Hold on.
Okay, I'll let you.
Because the bottom line is, ma'am, you got to go compete against everybody selling these financial products, and you're an independent with no network and no marketing.
Let's be honest.
You need to do.
No, but all right. So the company that you just named.
Stop.
But can you just
stop? No, stop. I'm not
right, so-
done. Stop.
Okay, I'll let you finish. But is this better information?
Do you know any people with $250,000 or more to invest?
I do not at the time.
Then where are you going to get potential clients?
I have to start getting myself around more like-minded people.
This is why I get so upset, because I'm a 20-year salesperson and I understand what it means to build a network. And they tell you, ladies, that just because you have this license and you can sell it, that it happens. It doesn't.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen overnight.
It's not going to happen.
I'm like, I've learned that the delayed gratification. It's
not going to happen.
It's not going to happen overnight.
It's not going to happen, period.
5 to 10 years, but it's going to happen because I'm going to work for that.
People with money invest with competent people. They keep it incestuous. They don't go take a risk on ma'am, I'm telling you how people with money move. I know what I'm talking about.
I know. No,
you say it's going to happen. In order for it to happen, you have to sell to the market. The market. When someone calls in and says, I'm with Merrill Lynch, I'm with Goldman Sachs, I'm Fidelity, you are saying, I'm with Miscellaneous Chicken Rhode Island Independent. They're going to say,
I'm with World Financial Group.
World Financial Group. Okay. And who is that compared to Goldman Sachs, Merrill, and all these other things? And then they go and say, okay, cool. They're not even taking your call. Have you made one solicitation call? Have you called one person to try to book an appointment?
No, I've just reached out to people.
Thank you. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. In order to get business, I'm talking to the audience. This is why it is so important for me to talk about this. Somebody who sold $45 million worth of products and services. Somebody who had the licenses. And I'm an exceptional salesperson. And I got out of that business because I saw the scam. I took some of the things, but the difference is I had built a 20-year career that I can actually book on.
are you now?
Ma'am, you don't have the skills.
So how old are you now?
You don't have the skills. Selling is a skill. Where did you go to learn how to prospect?
Through my executive, and I've also.
In other words, you did not go to what sales school? What sales philosophy? What's your underlying sales theory?
For a Next Level Academy, where I got to listen to, really high.
So Next Level Academy, you listened to it. You didn't go to sit down and coursework.
I did.
Ma'am, when I worked for AT&T, I was in training for 1 entire year. When I worked for MCI, I was in training for 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone through Dale Carnegie, Zig Ziglar. I have over 6 million.
And the funny thing is,
excuse me, but the thing is, you don't even know what I'm talking about. I have $6 million worth of training in me before I even hit the field. What they do is they bring these women in here and they get them to, just like go to Boiler Room. Go to the movie Boiler Room and look at the Giovanni Ribisi character. They get them to get these their licenses. They pay them pennies on a dollar, and then they basically book you in like sweatshops.
Can I tell you about the business I'm in though?
I know the industry. And what they do is they get in people like this, and they sell them. No, I know the industry better than you. You ain't been in it but a year.
Sometimes advisors.
No. You haven't sold a damn. You haven't sold a damn thing. You haven't sold a damn thing. You haven't prospected shit. So I want you to understand something. This is and why are we here? Because this is how delusional modern women have become, and they believe these lies. Ma'am, why are we here? Why are we here? Why are we here? Why are we here? Because at the end of the day, because instead of because at the end of the day, you're going to go through life living like this. You're not going to have the money. You're not going to have the money.
Top 25.
You're not going to have the money. This woman, the most money this money made in 1 year the most money this woman made in 1 year was $50,000, and she thinks she's going to go from $50,000 as a property manager, a respectable middle income career that most people says I have this low end, this high end. That's the cap on my life. Please.
So much.
And most people say I don't make enough to get through life on my own. That's why other cultures be quiet or I'll get you out of here.
Okay.
Because you don't need to be talking to nobody about shit.
Actually, I do. I
no, you don't. You're 27 with 2 kids. You weren't even smart enough to make you said the baby just came and I wasn't even in a relationship.
Yeah.
That's enough to disqualify you from that's enough to disqualify you from serious consideration already. You think somebody's going to let you be a financial planner? You can't even be a goddamn womb planner?
Well, I was young and dumb,
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah. So who's going to invest their money with somebody who's young and dumb?
Mm-hmm.
See, this lesson is going to get taught whether you like it or not, because this is what gets this is what gets marketed to these women, because it's like, why don't average women get with average men? Because they think there's a pot of gold out there for them through manifestation and doing it on their own, when every other race of women know they need to stay with their men so they can have their men's family and their family, so they can have an extended network to where when they're average that somehow the extended family can make it work. But no, we got a bunch of baby mamas having kids.
I'm not your average mama. I'm a mother.
Average earning baby mamas having kids with no plans and no mindset to even understand long-term financial planning. So it gets to the point to where at the end of the day, when you end up making exactly in line with what your skill sets are, what you've earned, and you don't have enough money, your kids got to take care of the shortfall. That means your kids got to stop investing in their kids' future. Your kids got to stop it. No, your kid. That's the real case scenario. What did your mother leave you?
She nothing much, because no one taught my mother.
Thank you.
So that's where I'm trying to make the change.
You can't make a change with no money.
There's not a lot of financial.
You can't make a change with no money. That's what I'm trying to do. You can't make a change with no money. You have no money to invest. No. Ma'am, in order for this to work, you need to basically hit the lottery. Because in order for this to work, you got to admit, you have to get out and go to the open market and close business consistently to earn 200. Listen, ma'am, please. You have to get out into the market and earn the money to make $200,000 consistently over 10 years. 10 years minimum.
It's gonna be a lot of hard work, but I'm ready for it. I'm 27. I got in 10 years I'll be 37, and then in 20 years I'll be 47. Right? So I'll have by that 20 years. That give me like a lot of time to have built a huge mindset, like a huge skill set. You got to start somewhere, and thank God I started now rather than later. Looking into things that people don't usually look into.